Hi guys, welcome to the deep dive introduction into foxReveal. Now we want to talk about each and every option, each and every setting so that you really fully understand the script, how it works and how it analyzes paths and how to work with it the optimal way you would really like to. First of all, while designing foxReveal, we really spent some time on designing the UI, the user experience, and built quite a lot of intelligent functions to help you work with it. And in this tutorial, we would like to explain them. So, if you add a source, for example, this is the most probably not exciting button in the script. If you add the source and you position it anywhere, you don't have to address this source anymore. So foxReveal already recognizes, okay, there has been a source added to the comp, and if you hit reveal paths, you'll automatically find this source in the comp, and since it's the only source, it will just reveal from there without asking you anything further. You can even rename this. It's identified anyway, so if we rename this, or let's name this screen source, you can easily put it anywhere you want, hit reveal path, and it will still be using this screen source. Even if you now add another source, let's just duplicate this one for the circle here and call this circle source, and let's now click the circle at its own and hit reveal path. Let's close this. Hit reveal path. It will say, hey, there are multiple sources detected in comp. We couldn't find the right source to be used. So if you have multiple sources in your comp, just the first time you reveal, just select the partner source and hit reveal paths. And then everything will be revealed just as you like. As you can see, this one will be revealed from this source, this one from this source. If we now have one reveal linked to a source like this one and want to update that one, it's recognized by our script as well. So in this time, it recognizes, I'm already linked to another layer, so we'll use this source again. So probably you don't have to worry about the source finding other algorithms at all. Most they will work for you. But if you want to really get into, make sure this source is used for this path, select them both, hit reveal path, and then this source will be revealing this path. Okay? And either way, you will find, there you can see it now, it's revealed from this source instead of this source. And either way, you will find your way to work with the sources, but you just have to know that we built some intelligent algorithm into that so that it's mostly really easy for you to work with it. In addition, if you delete anything, there may occur expression errors, because you can see foxReveal works with expressions to be able to link your animation to these two keyframes. And once you delete a source, you get into all these expression errors. So what you do when you do it, just hit remove foxReveal. And that removes every trigger or reveal group. You can see if we have all these groups here, and this time it's an import Illustrator file. So there are groups inside of groups, there are paths. You don't have to care about that. We set that into the introductory part. But if you add a source to it, and if you say reveal path, you can see that there are trim paths added to our paths, which have the expressions linked. Or maybe there are also groups added, like if we have multiple paths in here, there are groups added. If you hit remove foxReveal, all these objects will disappear. So foxReveal is like vanishing on its own, and every expression error will disappear, and any animation also. If you reveal the paths and if you have baked this animation, let's just do that quickly. So bake that reveal, and you can see now we have all the keyframes of our beautiful foxReveal here, and it's still in this object called foxReveal. And if you have baked it and still want to remove the reveal, it's easy done by removing foxReveal. That's it. So it's identified by the name here and not the expression, so it still works if you have a baked reveal, you can just start from scratch by hitting remove foxReveal. So in the case of expression errors or any other error, just remove it and start over again. For the trigger function, actually everything is pretty much the same like in the reveal paths. Let's just add a quick scale animation here. And this is maybe triggered. We got no reveal no more. So let's just add a reveal. And that's the first important point. You have to have a reveal to trigger animations. So if there is no reveal in your comp and you try to trigger the animation, it will say, hey, add a path reveal first. So it won't work. You have to reveal a path to trigger some animations, okay? And once you have a reveal path animation, and it's the only one in the comp, once again, you can just hit trigger animation and it will process the only animated path in the comp and it will pop on at the right moment. If we, once again, add another source, use this source, select both, to reveal the circle here, and remove foxReveal. It also works for trigger animation expressions, just like that. Remove foxReveal from here and try to trigger the animations. Again, multiple sources are detected in the comp, so it doesn't know, hey, should I be triggered by this one or should I be triggered by this one? So you can just select either the source, this should work. So now it's like revealed by the path of this selected source, or you just select the path, like select the triangle and the path, hit trigger animations. So the triangle will be triggered by the path, okay? Or select the circle, so the triangle will be triggered by the circle. Each and every aspect, bam, it will be right, and actually it's pretty much the same time here. Okay, so that's our intelligent source finding algorithm. But now let's get into the settings and let's get into the algorithm, how foxReveal really works. Actually, most of the things we explain here is in a short version also written into our beautiful help panel. So just take a look into our help panel if you've got any further questions or want to replay or don't want to replay this tutorial. So we're going to talk about sample points per path now, which is the core functionality of foxReveal. What foxReveal internally really does is it spreads points along your path. And these number of points you can specify here. It's kind of the accuracy of our branching detection, okay? So in this case, it's set to 100. So along each and every path, doesn't matter if it's this path or this path, there are 100 points scattered, and like all the distance calculation and so on, you know, we have a source object and everything that gets in the reach of this source object will be triggered. So, for example, if I place this here, pretty much exactly here, okay? And we hit reveal path with 100 points per path. These 100 points are measured, and the one closest to our source will start revealing the path. And as you can see, this is pretty quick, so we can't really tell where we start. This isn't starting exactly at our source, but rather at the point closest to our source of all these 100. So if we like only scatter 10 points across our path, if we lower this amount, it will be even rougher. It will be very quick, but it will be even rougher. So as you can see, for the 10, this one is the one that really started. And also, you can see that a lot of paths are still here, so haven't been triggered. That's why if we have 10 sample points, only 10 sample points, we need a huge radius, because sample points are a long distance from each other. We need a whole other radius setting here, okay, for the path to be triggered. So basically what you should know and what you should pay attention to is to always keep in mind that you have these sample points per path, and that foxReveal works with points on path and not the path in like a stepless individual way, okay? So I have this set to like 50 in the most default cases. If I want to really have an accurate reveal, I set it to 100 or 150, then it's really accurate. But if you have a lot of paths and complex shapes, I would really suggest setting it to 50, 20, or even less. Depends on your complexity of your paths, okay? Then we have, of course, the radius. Everything that comes into our radius will be triggered, but you have the decision. The paths are individually processed like by their starting point. So wherever this path starts, this is the first point that it will be analyzed from. And the first branch is like the faster one, and maybe the one that you want to have, but maybe not the one you want to have. This is kind of when we analyze the path, if we find something that is smaller away than the distance, then this will be triggered. If we hit closest branch, it takes a little longer, but this time it analyzes every possible point that is close to this radius, and it will be triggered at the closest distance available. Okay, so not at the first distance that is available, but at the closest. So if we reveal the paths with the closest distance available, it's applied while detecting the branching. You can see that this is the closest distance, for example, for this trigger here. And we don't really have a good example here. Yeah, maybe here. Maybe this one. This line comes down to this pen. And it could trigger this pen because it's the first one that triggers, that comes close to this pen. But this pen is triggered by this line, not this line, since this line connects closer to the pen than this one. If we had this selected to switch this to first path and reveal this again, this is the first one that touches the pen, and now the first one triggers our pen, not the closest one. It will be, maybe it's something that you want to, the first one, maybe you don't want to. So in this case, I would prefer the first one because this is like a more fluid reveal, like revealing the pen when this comes down. But let's just go into this hand-drawn thing and have like a hand-drawn path here. And maybe you have a path like this. And this arm of your path comes in, well, let me just edit the path points here, comes in quite close to the original branch. Once we reveal this with first branch, oh, we have to add the source, of course, and reveal it from here. And if we have the first branch, the first time this one, let's just see it, the first time this branch gets within the radius, it's revealed from there, okay? So in this case, it's revealed from here. We don't want that. If we have an even greater radius and hit reveal paths, this will be still triggered, you can see here, along with this. And that's not really the one I want. Maybe it is. Maybe for the fluidity of the reveal, we want that. We want exactly that this will be triggered when this comes across. But maybe you want to have it triggered at the closest point. So in this case, we will just, I have to get rid of my space here. And in this case, we want to have it at the closest. So we reveal the path again. And let's just look at this. It's not triggered until the closest point of these paths meeting is reached, which is this one where the path really exists. So in this case, we get a completely other reveal if we choose to have the closest branch or if we choose to have the first branch. So whatever comes into our radius will be triggered, or whatever comes into our radius will be active, but not triggered until the closest point is found. Separate layer or combined shape is also a tiny function. I don't use it too often, but sometimes you have like multiple layers intersecting each other. Like, let's just draw this example. That's the easiest way. Just like that. And you can do two things. either, let's just put this path point here and add another one here, just like that. We have got two layers, this layer and this layer. And if we trigger our animation just like with a combined shaped, this would be the default. So we select both layers, set reveal paths, then it will be considered as one big path. The first point will be this one, so we reveal it from there. And oh, this one triggers this one because it gets in the radius quite soon. So let's just make us a smaller radius and reveal paths again. Oops, reveal paths again, just like that. And let's see what it does. Now it reveals itself until the intersection point of these, and this one will be revealed by the other one. Okay, so this is like something that only happens if you will treat them as a combined shape. If you complete them as separate layers, they will both be triggered. So for both paths, the closest path to the source path will be found. The closest point to the source path will be found. And let's just do that. Both will be revealed independently from each other and will trigger each their paths, but not be like influenced by each other. Okay, so sometimes you want that. Sometimes you want some paths that are like, yeah, individually revealed, but at the same time with the same controller. Then you can use the separate layers function. Or in another way, you want to reveal them as a combined shape, as a complex path structure. Then you can see here with combined shape that works like a charm. Each and every path has its own curve. So for example, this pen. Let's just look into the expressions of this pen. This pen is inside this group, and here we got the foxReveal. Okay. If we look at these curves that are generated by the expression, you can see here the start curve. Oh, it's not really there. There is no curve animation here. Okay, let's look at the value graph, and you can see here this curve is a classic linear curve that has been generated at the point where this path is triggered until the point the path is fully revealed. With the path easing, you can change that to an ease type, which is really, really nice, because now some of the branching points are not as exact. So here we have a really exact reveal, but sometimes, especially in forms that are not branching directly like this one, it's much nicer if we just switch the path easing to ease and hit reveal paths again. Now all the expressions will be edited and adjusted. And let's just look into the new expression that has been added and look into the path of this one. And you can see this time it uses an easing function. So it starts slowly at the beginning of our reveal and it ends slowly in the end of our reveal. And this is for each and every path. It's not like the easing that you apply with the curve above, like with the master curve. You can still ease this one. But this time when you hit path easing, it's the animation for each and every single path. You can see here it slows down at the end, and that is very, very easy. Okay, so these are the settings for the reveal part. Let's go on to the bake function. In the bake function, we also have some nice settings. It's the first thing is snap the decisions to frames. Okay, you can activate that so that every path point that is generated. So for example, let's just quickly not snap to frames and bake the reveals. You can see that once we go through our animation, that a lot of keyframes are in between frames to ensure a perfect representation of the expressions in keyframes. So because expression work on a subframe basis, okay? Expression don't care about like where does a keyframe or the frame end and where does a frame start. It works in between them. So this one, the not baked one, is the exact one. As soon as we bake them, we kind of lose some accuracy, but gain some editability, okay? So is it the word editability? I don't know. Let's just keep on working. With snap to frames, we even lose some more accuracy, but gain again some editability, because this one, once we start moving it, it snaps to a whole frame anyway. And with snap to frames, we can, as you can see, automatically snap these decisions to frames so that we can really nicely work with these points. Okay, so that's the first easy setting, snap to frames. And the other one is a little more complicated, but a really nice one. If we have, like, for example here, a curve applied to our reveal, just like that. Let's look at the animation. You can see that our last, let's make this even more extreme. Let's go really beyond regular keyframe using 2 keyframes, just like that. And you will see that this last line, and especially this last line here, really comes smoothly into the finish, and it's really slow in the end, okay? As an animator, you will see that. Okay, once we hit the bake reveal, it will be converted into a keyframe that, where is the keyframe? Here it is, the last keyframe, it's like here. It will be into a keyframe, but it won't like use our original curve. So this behavior isn't retained when baking it. And I found this as an animator. If I bake something, I want to like an exact representation of what I baked. So this is not an exact representation of, let's see, what we have here. Okay, so in this case, we implemented the bake as curve function. This time, it uses a more intense algorithm to really bake our curves here, to retain all the animation we added into our reveal originally. So let's just look at this. And let's look at this curve. I don't know what he added, like these amount of curves here. It's like, seems to be a rounding issue, but as you can see, the curve is retained. So in this case, we can just delete all these additional keyframes, but the curve of our original reveal, this one, will be retained when baking it. And this is really handy. As an animator, I love options like this. It really took us some time to develop a function that works this way, so that really pays attention to your easing existing in this upper slider, and to transfer it to the individual functions, and to find out which curve each and every function then has, like in an editable way. This is really not that easy, okay? So in this case, for example, like this curve or this curve with the exact easing, it's not really that easy as you may think it is. But yeah, for all the animators among you, we did this work. So this is the maybe the last option. Yes, this is the last setting we have into our bake reveals. The snap to frames also works with our triggers. This one hasn't any influence on our trigger baking, but what I really liked about our baking functionality is this secret field, the edit keys field. And if you want to adjust any reveal, that's what our baking function is all about. So I would like to say, yeah, let's just look at the reveal. Yeah, I like the reveal, but well, let's just not bake it as a curve. Okay, it's not. We have to remove foxReveal first, reveal again to reapply our expressions based on our animation here. Okay, and let's just hit bake the reveals, and now we've got the simple baking again, just like that. And we say, okay, that's nice, but I want to slow down the reveal of this pen. Then I have to find out which keyframe belongs to this pen. I don't know, I didn't do that. That was foxReveal that did all my keyframes. Which one belonged to my pen? And this is where this added keys function really comes in handy. So let's just close the settings and open the added keys. And double click here at our path. And it doesn't matter if you're like in this vector layer, shape layer edit state, or if you're like really editing the path points. It doesn't matter. You just select path points of your path or your path and select the edit keys button. And as you can see, the keyframes are selected that belong to our object that is selected in the window. And I really love that. As an animator, again, I really love that. I can simply extend that, get an easing here, and you can say, oh, nice. Now I improved my reveal even a little further. I want to improve it for this square. So I select the keyframes. These are the keyframes. And this one should be even slower. Let's just put it in like that. And make much more easing here. Just like that. These two, for example, let's just go in here. And yeah, let's go into the path edit mode. Like these two. Select these. Should be not as fast. So you can easily, with the edit keys, you can easily adjust these really to your need. Edit keys. There we go. You can easily go and like say, no, this one should be later. And smooth your reveal to a level where, yeah, you normally would have worked quite hard to get to that point. Just like that. And maybe also these two. Let's just select both of them. And with this one, you can select all of the keyframes for both of these. You can select the first keyframes of these or the last keyframes. In this case, I want to both select the last keyframes and also smooth these out a little bit. So here you go. You can see them maybe appearing a little too early. Let's just look at it. Yes, they are. So just this, just 2 frames. And now we really have a nice reveal that is far beyond what foxReveal manually or no, automatically can do, since you now improved it manually. So this was the whole deep dive into the foxReveal. We have some settings for baking, we have some settings for revealing. Now you know all of them and all the dirty little tricks that you can do while working with foxReveal. Once again, I want to point the help panel. If you have any questions, look in the help panel. If they aren't be answered by the help panel, just drop us an email at info@foxfactory.com and let's just talk about it. Maybe you found a bug, maybe you found a feature request, and we love to work with you to deliver you the best product possible. So this is foxReveal. Have fun using it. And yeah, I wish you all the best. Have a good time. Until then, bye.